Right folks, welcome to my painting area. This is where all the magic happens. This is the stage one, if you like, of the Heirophant paint. All I've done so far is I've taken my Gore Red paint and I've just given it a pretty liberal dry brushing with that. You can't really see it that well there probably, so I'll take a few close-up pictures of it for you. But even with just the dry brushing on it, it really brings out a lot of the detail. It makes it look a lot more awesome. Unfortunately now though, before I move on to step 2, which is going to be the next lighter colour, I've now got to fix the leg because I snapped the leg off. I've pinned it and glued it back together, but you know, it was, what a bastard. It was bound to happen, wasn't it? Next step after fixing its leg will be to add a coat of blood red to it, but just a light dry brush of that. Should bring out the colours quite nicely. Just point of interest, if you collect Games Workshop paints and you use them, the genuine brand, you can also use Humbrol acrylic paints, and they do a like-for-like match of Games Workshop paints. This is Blood Red, number 60 Humbrol. Just thought you might be interested in knowing that. So there you go guys. I'll get back to you once I have mended the broken leg and got a bit of red on this bad boy. Nice one. This is John McClane! God damn it, McClane! I want your badge on my desk by morning. This is stage 2 of my Heirophant painting. I completely fucking forgot to take any pictures of it in its first stage, so I will do that right now, just so I don't forget. No memory card. Oh, fuck's sake. Shit! Fuck, I've left it upstairs. Alright folks, here we go. This is the next step of the Heirophant's development, if you like, the Heirophant blog. Spent all of, well not all of last night, but a good chunk of the evening re-blacking the carapace, because obviously once you're dry brushing, I'm pretty blasé about it, you know, pretty liberal, and you're going to get it all over his neck and his back and everything. So the next step before I can carry on to doing the carapace is to go around, you know, re-black all of the red bits and just make it look nice and cool. It actually looks awesome like that. I'm kind of wishing that I'd have just painted my Tyranids red and black. I think that's a really cool colour scheme for them. And I could have just put a bit of, you know, maybe gloss varnish on top of the black, and it would have looked like a hard, shiny shell kind of thing, which would have looked awesome. So there's the tip, kids. Go with red and black paint. It looks wicked. So yeah, the next step I have got is I have to find where the hell I've put my Hawk turquoise paint, probably in one of these boxes down here, and I'm just going to really carefully start adding a layer of Hawk turquoise to the whole thing wherever there's like armoured plating on him. On this bit here where it's like the spore, I don't know what you call them, the spore chimney cysts or whatever, I might try and add an element of green, just sort of like make it look like it's weeping or something like that. I don't know how well that's going to work, because in practice these things never tend to work out quite how I'd like them to, but I'll give it a whirl anyway and see how that works. And with the, as far as the bio cannons are concerned, I really haven't got a clue how I'm going to paint them. I guess I'll just sort of wing it and hope for the best. Hello Mr. Bond, I've been expecting you. Right, fans of YouTube, here I am with today's latest update of the Heirophant painting blog. Basically what I've done is now finished doing the body. I give it just a really light dry brushing of Hawk turquoise paint, which is what I generally use for all my Tyranids. It looks pretty cool actually. I don't really put it on very heavy, just kind of a light one. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out. You have to be quite careful around the edges, so even though I'm dry brushing, I'm using quite a fine tipped brush to do it with, and just a tiny bit on there and just work it into it. I was watching South Park while I was doing it, which helped a lot. Next stage is to start adding detail and stuff, I guess. Being as though there's so many little spikes and scythes and stuff on this guy, I'm probably going to start doing those first before I move on to the teeth and the eyes and stuff, just because there's so many of them to do. And I still don't quite know what I'm going to do with his cannons, like his guns, yet, but I'll get to that, you know, shortly. Thinking of doing his tongue in sort of leech purple colour, and maybe having some what's it called, scorpion green leaking out the sides of his mouth or something, just so it's like acid, because, you know, he's a bio titan, so I guess he's going to have a bit of acid in him. And I'm thinking about doing his spore chimney cyst kind of things on his back. I'm thinking about doing them in like a dark green, but with light green like goo running out of them, but I'm not too sure how well that's going to work out. So yeah, that's basically it for this step. Detail next, and then I will post a video when he's done, I guess, would be the next step. He'll be pretty much done. I think that'll do. Ta-da! And there we go, YouTube. Good afternoon. It's lovely to see you all. It has taken me the best part of... Oh shit, how long has it taken me? It's taken me probably the best part of 2 months. It is now April the 4th, 2012. I think I started it towards the end of January, start of February. I've got to admit though, I haven't really been working on it every single day. I've kind of been, you know, having a week without doing anything, week here, week there, and I've only done a couple of hours. I think all in all, it's probably taken me somewhere in the region of maybe 20 hours to paint. I'm reasonably happy with the end result. I mean, I guess you could always get better. I'm sure a lot of people are going to look at this and just think, oh God, what's he actually done to that beautiful model? He's butchered it, but I'm quite happy. It fits in with my army. I've put a lot more effort in, being as though it's a lot more, you know, of an expensive creature in points and in money. And yeah, I'm reasonably satisfied. There's one problem that I am having. It's with large scything talons, you know, such as the feet on this thing. I have quite a problem blending a large area. I think that the blends I do look all right on tiny little small areas, but once it becomes, you know, sort of the length of your little finger, say, it gets quite difficult to blend them, and I don't know what to do about that. If anybody's got any sort of advice that they could give me on that, I'd be well up for listening to some of that. Or maybe somebody else could post a video on how they paint a scything talon, and maybe I'll do the same and we'll compare our notes or something. So yeah. Some of the more interesting details that I've done to this guy are on the top of him. I've actually added like where his chimneys are on his back, I guess you'd call it. I've added green with a layer of varnish on the top of it. There's 3 different greens. I've gone for snot green as the base, with a highlight of goblin green, and then a really light highlight of scorpion green on the top of that. And then just waited for that to dry and covered it in gloss varnish, and I think it looks nice. On the backs of his legs and underneath his belly, well, not under his belly, under his neck, sorry, I've done like the muscly sort of areas, and I've painted them basically with a combination of tentacle pink and warlock purple. What I did was added the warlock purple pretty much as the base paint, leaving the recesses black where I could, and then mixed the two together and put a light highlight over the top of it and added some water and tried to wash it together. It didn't really work that great, but I found that the longer I kind of worked at it, it sort of started getting okay. I've done all of his lash whips under his chest in green. I think they look all right. I mean, I wish that I could have maybe tied them in with the inside of the carapace a bit better, but quite frankly, I couldn't be bothered. It would have taken me forever. I'm quite proud of his face. I think I've done a good job on his face. Again, I've done the varnish on the sides down the side of his head. I've done his tongue with leech purple, and I've highlighted it with the scorpion green once again, and then varnished that with a gloss varnish. And all down his back, this is the one part of him I'm a bit disappointed about, to be honest with you. All down his back, he's got like the spore cysts, and I had a go at painting them like there was acid running out of them. And the way that I did it basically was that I sort of guesstimated what the angle that the goo would run down his back at, and then just sort of turned him upside down and started freestyling it. And then once I'd actually done them all, stood him up straight the right way up and realised that they all looked a little bit like they were off on the wrong angle. But if you've got any opinion on that, I'd be really glad to hear it. I've showed it to a few of my mates and they said that, you know, you'll get away with it, it looks alright. So that's pretty much it, folks. That is, in a nutshell, my 1250 point Heirophant. This has been my step-by-step blog of how I've done it. And hopefully you've all enjoyed it as well. I will be getting some more videos up very soon. And yeah, it's been great. Thanks very much.